Ladies and gents, it's time to stop hiding around the fact that this project should already be running and driving. So with that being said, we're just gonna jump right into it, start installing all of these parts that we have to install to get this thing running. Of course, all of which were purchased off eBay. First up, we've got a new one-wire alternator, 175 amp, and then we'll do the power steering system, and then hopefully we'll do the wiring. So, let's get it. 20 seconds in and we have our first failure. That alternator I bought, not even close to fitting. From what I can find, nobody makes one-wire LS6 alternators. Onto the power steering. I could not find a single fitting that would fit on the outlet of the power steering pump without hitting the pulley, because those two parts are incredibly close. It's a terrible design. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the power steering pulley off, weld a tube onto the outlet, and then weld a AN bung onto the tube. Both welders are out of gas, and it's Saturday, which means I can't get gas until Monday. So this is a failure as well, but at least I have a bunch of other stuff I can do. So next up is gonna be mounting the battery and starting to wire this thing up. Now, you guys let me know that there's somewhere back here, I don't remember exactly, I'm gonna have to do some looking around, but there's somewhere back here where we can mount the battery pretty much where you can't see it and it doesn't take up any cargo space. You know, this car is still nasty from daily driving it last winter. It's kind of funny. Yeah, so I think I found the spot for the battery. It is beautiful. It's like it's meant to be. Well, that was easy. This car is too damn long. I can't open up the hatch with it on the left. So I have to be taking it off the lift, pushing it forward, to get in here and then put it back on to get it under. God. So I didn't film much of getting the battery installed in the back here just because it's kind of in the corner, it's dark. It was too difficult to film. Let me show you the end results though, because they're awesome. We got our battery mounted with a nice metal bracket painted nicely. We got our 2/0 AWG wire running up to the front, which just ran through a grommet in the wall right now. Haven't put the ground cable on yet because I don't want to connect the system until all the power stuff is done, but I did make that cable, and I actually have a fuse this time. So this is a 150 amp fuse, and all of that will fit underneath the stock cardboard stuff perfectly. No worries. This really makes me happy that I moved the battery back here, because honestly, it's way cooler, way stealthier back here in this area than it was up front, and now we have the better intercooler system. Let's go ahead and run the positive cable up to the starter. So it comes out back there, up over the axle, around, down to the frame rail, and then up to the starter. I'll be adding some protection to the wire where it needs it, where it's contacting metal or where it might rub through. But for now, that's all good. Let's drop the car down and let's do some wiring up in the engine bay. I stand corrected. It's actually easier to do this part with the car in the air, so back up it goes. found out in a previous video, this right here feeds power to all of the car. The battery used to be right here. There was a short cable that went to the battery. Now there's this cable I just made, gonna go straight down to the alternator. So it's like it was meant to be, honestly. All right, well, now we do the ground cable and we can test it. Ground cable. All right, moment of truth. Will things explode? Will there be sparks? Hopefully not. And, oh, yikes. Well, there were very big sparks. It's not right. Well, it's miraculously working now. So the only thing that could have happened was one of the wires that was on the starter was grounding out because there's a lot of bare metal there. So let's put the key in the car, see if it powers up. Some nice jams to the radio. This is the beautiful contraption. It's a pipe with a banjo bolt welded to it. It's all steel, so that was cool. I don't know if it's gonna work. I don't really know why it wouldn't work, but I have a feeling it's not gonna work. But we'll figure it out. I hope I didn't damage the power steering pump. That's the main concern. But let's go ahead and lay some paint on it and then put the pulley on and test it. I hope you guys are having a better day than I am. I managed to completely ruin both of these $20 PTFE hose end fittings. So, power steering system's on pause. All right, guys, so I think we have assembled the engine pretty much as we need to, as much as we can. So I think it's time to put the new harness on and maybe get the new ECU in. So we got a Holley Terminator X Max, which is a standalone ECU that comes with the entire engine harness, as you can see, a screen that has transmission control, comes with a wideband, and of course, the ECU itself. And it comes with drive-by-wire control. So this car will be using an electric throttle pedal and throttle body. And that's cool because down the line we could do things like traction control, all sorts of crazy stuff. I am going to start with this mess. And thankfully things are labeled, but this has to go on the engine. It is as I feared. The intake manifold needs to be removed in order to get back there. Cam plug, fuel pressure, oil pressure is at the very back and like right behind the intake manifold at the bottom. There's just no room. So I can hopefully just unbolt the intake manifold and move it a little bit forward so I don't have to remove any of the fuel stuff. that is all done. All the wires behind the intake manifold are connected. Intake manifold's back on. I gotta say, so far, I'm very happily surprised with this harness. Everything is lining up. All like the bulky stuff is right in the middle and the back, so it's hidden. It looks good. It actually had an oil pressure sensor and a NOx sensor plug, which I didn't expect. I think now I'm gonna go ahead and do the ignition and the injectors. Those are separate harnesses. So we have the entire engine side of the harness totally done. The coils are a little nerve-wracking because the wires are touching the headers, but the headers are ceramic coated, and I did get heat protective sleeves for the wires. Maybe it'll be fine, maybe it will burn through wires, in which case we'll have to mount the coil packs off the valve cover, which is not a big issue, it just requires more modification. For now, I want to forget about the wiring for a second and show you guys something else that you all made this possible. Volvo hubcap. Volvo hubcap! Now it's a sleeper, it's a true sleeper. It's got, I did not think I was gonna be able to get Volvo hubcaps all around on this thing. But you guys let me know that the Volvo 740 came with the exact same hubcaps as this car did, except in a 15-inch diameter. So I bought Volvo 740 hubcaps, and sure enough, they fit perfectly on the 15-inch rim. They looked identical to the old ones. The old ones obviously are a little bit crusty, but it was way better than I could have ever hoped for. So thank you guys for letting me know. This looks awesome. This is exactly what I wanted. I wanted it to be totally OEM. I mean, like, from this angle, you cannot tell that that is anything other than just the OEM wheel. So freaking awesome. I know a couple of you guys wanted no hubcaps because that looks more sleeper, and I agree and disagree. It looks more shitbox, but I don't think it looks more sleeper. I think this looks more sleeper. Here is our lovely ECU. I'm gonna mount this right in the factory location. So the ECU is in and mounted. All the things it requires to work are there. For now, I want to put the terminals on, plug everything in, and see if the ECU powers up. So the main power and ground are in. Just gotta plug everything in here. So this is what I've discovered. This is the only bad thing about Volvos, is that their interior is pretty trash. It doesn't have like real clips, so it just doesn't stay in. Anyway, there's our Terminator X. Go ahead and key on. Oh! I think it's working. Oh my goodness. So it's already having us do the setup. We can't perform the setup yet because we don't have throttle pedal, throttle body, and all the other things up there aren't plugged in and grounded. So, ladies and gents, that's it. In the next video, we're gonna finish this process, finish the final assembly, so put the turbo kit back on and get this thing started. If you want to watch the next video, you can watch it right now by heading up over to Patreon. Huge thank you to everyone who does that. It supports the channel so much. If you also want to support the channel in other ways, you can check out some merch up there. We got Gingium signature shirts, hoodies, and then some other stuff like air fresheners and stickers. But anyway, that's it guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.